What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Big Time Football Talk. Brandt Parshall here. Today we got a monster episode. We're going to get into the 2021 mock draft. The future is now. See here, your favorite NFL team is going to take in the latest Big Time Football Talk 2021 mock draft. So let's get straight to it here. The Jacksonville Jaguars, based on Vegas odds, will have the first pick in the draft, and they are going to take quarterback Trevor Lawrence. You know I love him. The superstar from Clemson. Regressed a little bit this year, but not a concern to me. I kind of base everything off his freshman year when he was just getting going. I think he got a little too comfortable this year because it's a guy that's just been too easy for him. So Trevor Lawrence, number one to the Jacksonville Jaguars, going to replace old Minshew Mania that I don't believe will get it done at all. And number two is the Washington Redskins. The Redskins... there's a lot of different ways they could go here. It's likely going to be offense. That's why we have taking Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle from the University of Oregon. He was a first-team All-American and the Outland Trophy winner, best lineman in the country. So we'll have them taking Sewell with the second pick in the draft. Sewell, he's too good of a talent here to pass up for the Redskins. And Dwayne Haskins needs some more protection. And so we'll have Sewell from Oregon going here, number two. At number three, the Cincinnati Bengals will select Gregory Rousseau, defensive end for Miami. This dude was just insanely productive last year, double-digit sack totals. Carlos Dunlap is aging on the other side of the ball, and they need another great pass rusher. So we have them replacing another guy that's super tall and super strong in Gregory Rousseau from Miami, which should be a fantastic pick. At number four, the Carolina Panthers, we have them selecting Justin Fields, quarterback from Ohio State. Fields could even go as high to the Redskins, but we like the fit here in Carolina. Obviously, this is a team that needs a quarterback, and that'll be a good selection to match him up with Matt Rule. Carolina, a team with some weapons on offense. McCaffrey, DJ Moore, you give them Justin Fields, an athletic, strong-arm quarterback, and boom, that offense could explode. At number five, we have the New York Giants taking one of my favorite players in this draft, Micah Parsons, the outstanding linebacker from Penn State. He's very versatile. He could play inside. He can play outside in the 3-4. Love what Micah Parsons brings to the table. And that's the pick to the Giants, a team that's really needed linebacker help for a few years now, and they will get it here with Micah Parsons, the fantastic linebacker from Penn State. At number six, we have the Miami Dolphins taking the best receiver in the draft, and that is Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, a physical specimen at receiver, the number one receiver for LSU this last year statistically. Is a guy that could have been a first-round pick if he came out this year. The Dolphins need a number one receiver. Devontae Parker is a guy that's been really up and down, and so we have them taking a stud receiver and likely a go-to pro-ready guy for Tua Tagovailoa next year, and that is Jamar Chase. And number seven, the hometown, my favorite team, the Detroit Lions, have them taking Justin Ross, who's arguably the best receiver in this draft. Ross was very productive at Clemson, big 6'4". I'd like to 205 pounds, I believe. I would like to see him play bigger than he is. He's doesn't really play super physical for his size, but he's got the speed, athleticism, outstanding hands, and the Lions will need receiver next year because it looks like Marvin Jones is getting up there, and they may move on from Amendola, so the Lions will need another guy along with Galladay. At number 8, we have the New York Jets selecting Patrick Surtain Jr., the fantastic corner from the University of Alabama. Surtain's a guy that has been really good for Alabama the last few years, and we expect him to have an outstanding year as the number one guy in the Alabama secondary. Surtain, the son of Patrick Surtain Sr. And the Jets are a team that have needed secondary help for several years now. They've been a team that's really good at safety, and they drafted well at safety this year, adding Ashton Davis, and you all know they have Jamal Adams. So here they take Patrick Surtain, the fantastic corner from Alabama, get them one heck of a pick to help out the Jets secondary. At number 9, we have the Las Vegas Raiders selecting Dylan Moses, the middle linebacker from Alabama. Moses, a guy that was very highly touted out of high school. He was a dude that was, kid that was offered a scholarship in 8th grade from LSU. Moses, the reason he's here is because he got hurt this year for Alabama and missed the whole season with a knee injury. But Dylan Moses, very talented, versatile guy, speedy, strong, athletic linebacker, and the Raiders would love to add him to their linebacking core. So that's the pick at number 9 to Las Vegas. At number 10, we have the LA Chargers selecting Walker Little, the offensive tackle for Stanford, former 5-star number 1 overall recruit based on 24 composite rankings. Little was hurt last year, but he's a very talented kid, super big physical tackle that a team would love protecting their quarterback, and Herbert's going to need some protection. Chargers very solid on other spots of the ball, and that's why Little is the selection here at number 10. At number 11, we head to the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are a team that needs help at cornerback, so we have them selecting Shaun Wade, the corner from Ohio State. Wade's a very physical corner that's shown he can play inside and outside corner, and the Broncos bring over Bouye, but that other corner is kind of up in the air. Denver's a team that's really filled the holes in their at the other positions of their defense, including defensive line. They've added some solid talent in linebacker, including Bradley Chubb. So we have them taking a fantastic corner in Shaun Wade here at number 11. At number 12, we have who's at 12? Sam Cosmi going to the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are a team that have desperately needed offensive line help, and they did not really go that direction this year. They instead decided to take Isaiah Simmons, and in the first round, when I thought this year they would take tackle, but they get their 6'7", 300-pound tackle from Texas to try to help Kyler Murray and get him some more time to throw so he can get it out to some of the fantastic weapons he has in DeAndre Hopkins and Christian Kirk. At number 13, we have the Atlanta Falcons selecting the number 1 running back in the draft, in my opinion, and that is Travis Etienne. Obviously, the Falcons signed Todd Gurley to a 1-year deal, and they're going to look to move on from him after this year. Bringing in Etienne will be huge for the Atlanta Falcons. They can get back to physical downhill running that they used to have under Devontae Freeman a couple years ago that really helped out the play-action game in that offense. And Travis Etienne will be that guy. He's a very fast, physical running back that's capable of catching some passes too. So that's the pick for Atlanta at 13. At 14, we have the Miami Dolphins selecting Trey Smith. He's an interior lineman for the Tennessee Volunteers. The Dolphins have improved the tackle position this year. They just took Austin Jackson from USC, and then now we have them getting interior help to try to improve the run game and obviously get some more protection for Tua Tagovailoa. And so that's the pick here at 14. Dolphins got this trade through the the trade with the Rams, I believe. And then number 15 we have is the Cleveland Browns. We have the Cleveland Browns with a kind of a shocker here, selecting Trey Lance, the quarterback from North Dakota State. I'm not a Baker Mayfield believer. I think they have too many weapons. I think he's holding them back from success. There's outstanding receivers. They have a great defense. So Trey Lance is the pick, a big, strong quarterback who had 0 interceptions this year for North Dakota State. That is the pick I have for the Cleveland Browns, and I think that's going to be a great one for them. At number 16, the Jaguars are back on the clock, and I have them selecting Marvin Wilson, a defensive tackle from Florida State. The Jaguars have some great edge rushers in Yannick Ngakoue, also Josh Allen, who they added to the draft last year. And then this time they get a big, strong, run-stuffing defensive tackle from Florida State that'll help complement those edge rushers to go along with Taven Bryan on the inside. So that's a pick for Jacksonville. I really like this pick. I think it's a good fit. And you know that the Jaguars love going defense in the draft, and they get them a stud defensive player here. At number 17, I have the Chicago Bears taking Alex Leatherwood. Leatherwood, a guy that could obviously go higher on this list. He's a big physical offensive tackle. But the Bears have seemed like a team that have always struggled on the offensive line, and they're a team that is very solid on pretty much every side of the ball on defense. So they get some more protection for who's ever going to play quarterback next year, whether it's Nick Foles again or somehow Trubisky. But that's the pick at number 17 for the Chicago Bears. At number 18, we have the Minnesota Vikings selecting Najee Harris, the running back from the University of Alabama. Harris is arguably the best back in the draft, and this will be a good compliment for Dalvin Cook next year, who's a guy that seems to get banged up a lot. The Vikings added some great pieces in this draft. They don't really have a lot of weaknesses on the team, and Najee Harris is a guy that'll help them run the ball and take some of the pressure off Kirk Cousins. And at 19, we have the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are a team that really needs some help at the edge rusher position. Pretty solid in the secondary with two of the best safeties in the NFL, one of the best safety duos in Malik Hooker and Kari Willis. Have great linebackers in Darius Leonard and Anthony Walker. Right here we get them some edge help in getting Xavier Thomas from the University of Clemson. Thomas, a very highly touted kid. He was a number 2 overall ranked recruit in the 2018 class by 24/7, but hasn't really had the production yet. We expect this to finally be the year that he gets the production, and that's the pick for the Colts as they get help at rushing the passer. At number 20, we have the Tennessee Titans selecting Rondale Moore, the fantastic receiver from Purdue. Moore is a very speedy guy. He's actually stronger and plays more physical than he looks at only 5'9", 200 pounds. But Rondale Moore will be a fantastic piece and another weapon for Tannehill to add to the Tennessee Titans receiving core. At 21, we have the New England Patriots selecting Devontae Smith, the Alabama wide receiver. Smith is a guy that has very good hands, and he has a knack for getting open. We really like this pick because, Belichick loves the sure-handed receivers. So we think Devontae Smith is a good fit in New England. At number 22, we have the Seattle Seahawks selecting wide receiver Jalen Waddle, the blazing fast wide receiver who likely could run in the 4.2s at the Combine this year. Really love what I've seen out of Jalen Waddle. Also has the ability to return punts and kicks, so he adds that element to Seattle. At number 23, we have the Philadelphia Eagles selecting Javon Holland. The Eagles are a team that Howie Roseman, the GM, loves to add great safeties. And Javon Holland is a guy that's just been a playmaker for the Oregon Ducks. We've talked about him a little bit on this podcast in the last episode. So Holland, I think, will be a great fit for the Eagles, who are looking to always add more secondary help. That's been one of the weaknesses of their team. They love drafting safeties. They get a great value pick in Javon Holland here at number 23. At number 24, we have the Green Bay Packers selecting Pat Freiermuth, the outstanding tight end from Penn State. Freiermuth is a guy that has great hands. Packers really need help at the tight end position. He also is a very good blocker, so I think that's a great fit in Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love, whoever is throwing him the ball. At number 25, we have the Buffalo Bills taking Creed Humphrey, the center from the University of Oklahoma. Humphrey is a guy that could also be moved to guard. He's he could also play guard for the Bills. And the Bills are a team that have needed interior offensive line help since they lost Incognito last year. He headed over to the Las Vegas Raiders. At number 26, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks getting some help at rushing the passer and selecting Carlos Basham, the defensive end from Wake Forest. And Basham, what a great name for a defensive end. So that's the pick for Tampa Bay as they go edge rusher here at 26. At 27, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting LeBron Ray. Obviously, some of their players, Cameron Hayward, some of their interior guys are aging a little bit. So we have them getting LeBron Ray, a guy that was banged up a little bit at Alabama but has a ton of talent and potential. So that is the pick for Pittsburgh at 27. At 28, we have the Cowboys going edge rusher, getting Quincy Rozier, the defensive end for Miami. A guy like Rousseau, his teammate that was very productive last year and will be a good complement to DeMarcus Lawrence on the other side of the ball, rushing the passer. At 29, we have the New Orleans Saints selecting Kyle Pitts, the fantastic tight end for Florida. The Saints really, they could either go receiver here. Tight end, I think, is a good pick because Drew Brees used to have a great connection with Jimmy Graham. We would love to see the Saints go back and get another stud tight end to throw it to. Kyle Pitts, a great receiving tight end for the University of Florida. Number 30, we have the Baltimore Ravens selecting Caden Stearns at safety. We realize that Earl Thomas is getting up there in age, and Baltimore is going to likely need a safety here soon. So we take Caden Stearns, a guy that really had a great year as a freshman, struggled a little last year, but the talent is there in Stearns. 31, we have the 49ers taking Paulson Adebo, the cornerback from Stanford. 49ers could use a little bit of help at corner, and so that is the pick for them. And at 32, the Kansas City Chiefs, we have them taking Jalen Mayfield. Eric Fisher and Mitch Morris are getting up there in age, so they would love to add another offensive tackle to keep Mahomes upright and get it to those fantastic weapons he has. So that's going to do it for the 2021 Big Time Football Talk mock draft. Leave a comment. Tell me what you thought. If there were some players that you thought should be in here that were left out, let me know. If you dislike any of the picks, let me know. I'll be posting this on Twitter, likely Facebook. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube for more clips like this. And till next time, thanks for tuning in to Big Time Football Talk.